The Doctor and a newly regenerated Romana arrive on Scarrow to find that the Daleks are using explosive charges and a group of humanoid slave workers to mine the planet in search of their creator, Davros. A stalemate has arisen in an interplanetary war that the Daleks are waging against robotic movements, and their hope is that Davros will be able to give them the edge. A force of Movements has also arrived on Scarrow, determined to thwart the Daleks' plan. Davos is found in the ruins of the old Kala facility and immediately revives. His life support systems haven't held him in suspended animation since his apparent death. He quickly deduces that the battle computers of the two warring races are locked in logical stalemate, that he can break this by introducing an element of intuition. The Movements, having reached the same conclusion, want the Doctor to do likewise for them. Davros attempts to destroy the Moveland ship using a suicide squad of Daleks loaded with bombs, but the Doctor returns to the Khalat city and tricks him into inadvertently detonating them before they reach their target. The Movelants are deactivated and Davros is cryogenically frozen on board their ship until the freed slave workers can take him to Earth and ensure that he is put on trial for his crimes. Welcome, friends, companions, Wuvians, enemies. Most of all, friends, I think. Hopefully. Hope you have a nice weekend and a nice Saturday. Yes, I'm also now online on Saturday, live stream. Sci-fi and fantasy fans meet on this. Oh, perfect. Great channel for fun chats about their beloved books. School books? No, 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 no. Sci-fi fantasy books, of course. Because we can now, so now school books for Monday. Um, Movies, series, and franchises. At the moment, no Doctor Who on Saturday, but in May we go to new season of Doctor Who with Nikuti Gadwa. So we also talk about food and drinks. And what have you eaten today? I've eaten some vegetable soup with nice bread with cheese. Oh, I like cheese very much. I'll also talk about music. I'm a huge music lover. I like have a very variety taste of music. In fact, I'm really a collector of CDs, LPs, DVDs, with a variety of music genres and styles. So yeah, for future live streams, we'll also talk about the things like music, different genres and styles, decades. And we also talk about sport. What do we like for of sport? I like, for example, I like to watch darts on television or snooker. I like also winter sport on television. So a vast variety of things we can talk about. Have you got ideas? You can put your under this comment under this video some ideas for live streams to talk about. Except for politics and religion, we don't do that because politics and religion are not entertainment. No, that's very logical for me. I think it's not so interesting because I want to enjoy and yes, I want to give you a time of enjoyment. So and okay, we go further. Why are we called Random Entertainment Channel? Do you think? Now, that's because we will discuss everything that involves entertainment. I already said that, but I can repeat it, and including movies and series, books and music. So, also again and again, for everyone, there is something you are interested in. We are called random because we're broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. It depends on your time zone or you live on the moon, that also can be. we have also some moon stories in Doctor Who universe. That by the way, um, you need to subscribe to this channel. You need to subscribe this channel to know what the time the broadcast is. Yeah, that's very important. Like and subscribe. Often people of live stream say like and subscribe. Or and also by the way, you can. I repeat myself in a time loop. You can put your comment under the video. You can contact me. Now you can also contact me about the fact that do you want to join a live stream in the panel? We want to talk with me in this live stream about uh, the things you are interested in, you can contact me. We are called random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look what's possible. So Discord is my Discord server, same name as the YouTube channel, is a random entertainment channel. You can tag Doctor Who, you'll find me in most of the time in top of the list because I regularly bump this server. So you can do us. And by the way, I have an update on my Discord server. I have put some more categories and channels on the Discord server. So if you want to join me, please, you can find me on this Discord server and an entertainment channel. You can DM me and we will look what is possible. You can talk with me about your ideas, about interest, about your interest in joining me in the live stream to talk live here or whatever, you can contact me for just so feel free. So feel free. So what I will say is cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. Um, so today we are diving into the fourth Doctor story with Tom Baker, Destiny of the Daleks, again with a Dalek story, enemy of the Doctor. So I will explain how this live story is built up. We begin with a plot, and I forgot for before I discuss and I talk about the plots. I take you through the story. I will give a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched this story, this four-parter, please, and I highly recommend you to watch this story of 4 episodes first before you will listen to what I have to say about this story and these episodes. So, after plot, I will name some cast members. Then I will do some world building, a little bit about the Daleks, of course. And I will discuss in the end. I will discuss the continuity of the story because there is a context in the whole Doctor Who or the universe you call it. There is a continuity in universe, and this story takes place in the past, in the present, in the future. There are some stories, episodes linked to this story. There are some references, links, connections to the past, and there are also future episodes after this story that refer to this story, Destiny of the Daleks. So, and the thing is that Doctor Who is canon or not canon. You can decide what is your favorite canon. So, there's no. In fact, there is some paradox. There is a canon in Doctor Who, and there is no canon in Doctor Who. It depends what do you want that canon is. That's the whole fact. So there is not so such thing as uh, stories not canon or canon. Do you understand it? This paradox. It is simple. It is simple and it is not simple. Um, what I want to do is make it simple and say choose your own canon take your own conclusions and pick up your own favorites. So, that said, okay, this is the whole building up of this live stream, the different parts. And so, okay, I will give first, before I give begin with the plot, I will start with general info, of course. So, and between all, I take some water. The motor is or motor oil for the throat. Perfect. There we go. General info. Destiny of the Daleks was the first serial of season 17 of Doctor Who. It was the first story to feature Lalla Ward as Romana, although it was the third to be produced. It also featured the 12th appearance of the Daleks and the second appearance of Davros, portrayed by David Gooderson for the only time, as Michael Wisher had a theatrical commitment in New Zealand and was unavailable. It was the final televised story to be written by Terry Nation, who had contributed scripts since 1963. It was the first story produced under auspices of script editor Douglas Adams. Notably, episode 1 saw K9 being voiced by Dalek voice actor Roy Skelton. This was because K9 had contracted laryngitis and all that was needed of him was a croaking sound. So, that was journal info. Spoiler alert, we now begin with the plot at this episode 1. Bleep, bleep. There we go. Episode 1. The Doctor has installed a randomizer on the TARDIS to elude the Black Guardian. While he is repairing K9, the Doctor marvels at K9's impressive and complex electronic brain. He notices that K9 is, unusually for a robot, coughing. He establishes that K9 had a form of laryngitis, which is, as the Doctor points out, pointless, as a robot would have no use for such an affliction. He calls for Romana and is surprised when Princess Astra from the receding adventure emerges, in full regalia. However, this is not Astra at all. It is Romana, as she has regenerated into a form which she has modeled on to the princess. The Doctor is not impressed and tries to dissuade her from going around wearing copies of bodies. He urges Romana to try another body. She agrees and walks out of sight to do just that. When she returns, she is a dwarfish, purple-faced female who retains Romana's voice. Unhappy with the height, he is told by the Doctor to lengthen it, and she leaves to try again. When she returns, she resembles a drag queen. The Doctor, possibly slightly disturbed by this, gives a polite, "No thank you, not today." Romana then tries an extremely tall, willowy, and serious-looking female form, which the Doctor dismisses as being too tall. He advises her to wear something more sensible and stylish, as he returns in an outfit resembling his own. He is delighted, but until he realizes that she again resembles Astra, only in different clothing. He gives up, realizing that her mind is made up, and agrees to let her resemble Astra. The TARDIS then lands. The TARDIS has landed on a very rocky planet, which has breathable air and hospitable conditions, but has dangerously high levels of radioactivity. Dr. gives Romana tablets to combat the radiation and a beeper-like device to inform her when she must take her pills. They exit the TARDIS and establish that this rocky planet has seismic disturbances. Doctor has déjà vu upon inspecting the landscape. They witnessed what appeared to be erect-looking natives burying one of their dead. On closer inspection, they find that this deceased fellow is not what they thought. He's from the planet Kantra, a tropical paradise. How he came to be on this rocky planet is a mystery. They see a spaceship land and find that it has half buried itself into the ground in a valley. Just as the doctor and Romana are about to investigate, underground explosions force them towards the ruins. While they explore, Column falls upon the doctor. It is too heavy for Romana to lift alone. She agrees to reassemble the literally brainless K9 and get him to assist in removing the debris. She sets off, but finds the TARDIS half buried in rubble. Unbeknownst to her, she is being followed, realizing that she cannot reach K9. Romana turns back. Meanwhile, the doctor is quite happily reading a book, The Origins of the Universe, is it called, by Kulovitz, and remarks that he needs to remind Romana to take her anti-radiation pills. A troop of silver-haired humanoids appear and point their weapons at him. He attempts to charm them, but it does not seem to work. And meanwhile, Romana returns to the ruin. The doctor has vanished. As she turns to leave, she finds the man who has been following her blocking her path. She backs away, only to fall down a rubble chute, losing consciousness. The man prepares to climb down and helps her. The doctor, unharmed, is with the Movements, as the silver-haired humanoids are called. He thanks them for helping him and remarks at their strength. He asks their commander, Charles, what planet they are on, and is told that it is known as D Gamma Z Alpha. And the doctor inquires to its name and is astonished to hear that the answer is Scarrow. Before the old man has climbed down after her, Romana recovers consciousness and hears a draining noise coming from one of the walls. The wall seems to be moving. She backs away from the wall. Suddenly, a pair of Daleks burst through it. Do not move. 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 You are our prisoner. Do not move. You are prisoner. End of episode 1. Episode 2. So, the Daleks threaten to exterminate Romana if she does not comply with her instructions explicitly, and then command Romana to come with them. The man, meanwhile, has been seeing the whole thing. Movements tell the doctor that they are on schedule to wage war against Daleks. Meanwhile, Romana is being interrogated by the Daleks. After determining that she is no threat to them, the Daleks command Romana to work at one of their drilling sites. The doctor and the Movements meet with the man who has been following Romana and him. He identifies himself as Starship Engineer Tyson, captured by the Daleks 2 years ago. He collapses after revealing that the Daleks have used him as slave labor for drilling as part of research operation. He soon comes around and says he does not know what the Daleks are looking for. He tells the doctor about what has happened to Romana, and they set out to rescue her. In the meantime, Romana meets with other workers, with whom she discusses the Daleks' hatred for humanoids. She learns that she is getting weaker as a result of radiation sickness and is told that the only way out of captivity is to die. Within minutes, she collapses and seems to die. Her fellow workers remove her body. The doctor, Tisan, and the Movements, Scheller, Len, and Agella are shocked to find Romana's grave. As the doctor frantically tries to dig her out, Romana appears and explains that she finds death in order to escape. At dark school, she had been taught how to suspend her breathing and stop her heart. They head to the Dalek headquarters. Lan is left on guard outside of the control center, is blasted down by a Dalek which is out searching for them. When the Dr. Tessan and the Malevolence find Len's body, Cheryl refuses to let the doctor examine Len, saying it is against the Malevolence code of honor to allow aliens to set the bodies of their dead. The Doctor establishes that the Daleks are searching for something on a level that they have yet to access. He remembers an alternative route to this area, so he, Romana, and Agella make their way to this floor while Cheryl turns to his ship. They discover Davros, the creator of the Daleks, who had seemingly been exterminated when the Doctor last saw him. You see that in the TV episode, The Genesis of the Daleks, also with the fourth Doctor Tom Baker. Something gives way up above, and part of the ceiling collapses on Agella, while the party is distracted by this. Davros starts to stare. His fingers move. His central artificial eye lights up, and Davros awakens. End of episode 2. Episode 3. The resurrection has come, as I always knew it would, says the awakened Davros. Doctor finds Davros and takes him into a blocked off room in the old Dalek city. He lets Romana and Tyson escape out the window, and they return to the Moveland ship. The two geniuses talk about the Daleks' accomplishments, whilst the Doctor comments on the countless lives the Daleks have ruined. Davros replies that this is only the beginning. The Daleks have only just begun their conquest of the cosmos. The Daleks find them and proceed to exterminate their prisoners until the Doctor complies. The Doctor threatens to kill Davros with a makeshift explosive he has just concocted. He orders the Daleks to free all their prisoners to let him escape. The Daleks say that these conditions are unacceptable and illogical, and therefore to a Dalek impossible. The exterminations will continue. Davros makes them see that the Doctor's logic is impaired by rational sentiment. The Daleks now comply. The Doctor attaches the explosive to Davros' chair and tells him that it will detonate when he uses his sonic screwdriver. He escapes. Davros frantically orders the Daleks to remove the explosive, which they do. The Doctor detonates the explosive remotely, and the explosion seems to take a Dalek with it. Davros vows to make the Daleks invincible, and the supreme power of the universe. Unbeknownst to them, Agella is not dead. She returns and reports all she has just heard to her fellow Movellans. Romana reaches the Movellan spaceship but learns that the Movellans are not altruistic as they appear. Agella uses her weapon on her and knocks her out. Movellans test out their Nova device, a weapon which changes air molecules so a planet's atmosphere becomes flammable and can be set alight, killing all life forms. Doctor meets up with his son and they find a Movellan scout. And Doctor deactivates her by removing the power pack controlling circuit on her belt. Reveals that the movements are, in fact, robots. He finds that the unconscious Romana has been attached to the Nova device, sealed in an airtight container. He sensed that his son away and tries to open the container as the timer is ticking down. End of episode 3. Episode number 4. As the timer approaches 0, the Doctor is knocked by one of the Movellan's weapons. However, the Nova device was revealed to be a dud, a decoy used to lure the Doctor. Doctor learns that the Daleks and Movellans have been in a stalemate for over 2 centuries, and that have both sides' battle computers have been calculating the best strategy and precise moment at which to attack. So far, not a single shot has been fired. The Daleks want Davros to help them gain advantage and pledge their loyalty to him. Movellans want the Doctor to do the same for them, which the Doctor refuses to do. Davros, on the other hand, is eager to give the Daleks the upper hand. He orders them to make a suicide bombing attack on the Movement craft on realizing that the Doctor might do the same for the Movlings. The Doctor leads an attack by the slaves on the Movements, which ends with them all being deactivated. While the prisoners take control of the Movement ship, the Doctor makes his way to the city to confront Davros. He tells Davros that the Movements have been disabled. Unfortunately, Davros does not believe him and intends to destroy the Movement ship anyway. As the Daleks approach the ship, Doctor goes to detonate the bombs prematurely, only to discover too late that Davros didn't send all the Daleks on the suicide run when one ambushes him and holds him at gunpoint. Meanwhile, Tyson instructs the former slaves to go out to defend the ship. However, the former slaves are no match for the Daleks, which begin exterminating them as they approach the ship. Whilst chatting with Davros, the Doctor throws his head on the Dalek's eye stalk, blinding it. As the Dalek fires around blindly, nearly killing Davros in the process, the Doctor attaches an explosive to it and blows it up. Then activates the bomb detonator and destroys the attacking Dalek squad. It takes Davros into the custody of the former slave workers. Davros shall be placed in a cryogenic suspension and taken to the Earth to stand trial for his crimes. The Doctor and Romana surreptitiously leave the Moveland ship before takeoff and return to the TARDIS where, after having cleared the fallen rocks away, they remark on the fact that whoever makes mistakes often wins, as the Doctor knows only too well. Ho ho! They enter the TARDIS and dematerialize, only to rematerialize a few seconds later after the Doctor presses the wrong switch. As Romana points out this mistake, TARDIS dematerializes again, successfully this time. And this, my friends and Wovians, is the end of the story Destiny of the Daleks. So, now the names, a few cast members. Doctor Who, played by Tom Baker. Romana, played by Lala Ward. Tyson, played by Tim Barlow. Commander Shadow, played by Peter Straker. Davros, played by David Coulson. And Angela, played by Suzanne. Danielle Lam, played by Tony Osowa. Movlin Carr, played by Cassandra. Chell, played by Penny Kasdalek. Pelden, played by David Yip. Dalek operators are the Saitown and Mike Mungarvan. And Dalek voice is Roy Skelton. And also the voice of Key9 in this story is Roy Skelton. Also. So, that's the cast members. World building. Books. The Doctor reads Origins of the Universe by Olin Colofit and says, "He got it wrong on the first line. Why didn't he ask someone who saw it happen?" Colofit is a character from Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy. Also, books. The Doctor references the guidebook Jane's Spacecraft of the Universe when Romana recognizes the origin of the ship, the Movements. Point 2 of world building, the cultural references to real world. The Doctor and Romana play rocker, paper, scissors to demonstrate the cause of the stalemate of the robotic war. Second, according to the Doctor, Davros misquotes Napoleon. Third thing, the Doctor defines his strategy of holding Davros hostage as a Mexican standoff. And last, the Doctor says Romana has all the makings of a first-class navy. World building in relation to Daleks. First thing, Doctor teases the Daleks' inability to climb. If you're supposed to be the superior race of the universe, why don't you try climbing after us? Second thing, Davros learns of the Daleks' recent battles and defeats through information provided on the computer sphere. And last thing, Davros is vexed when he's hearing about a supreme Dalek. World building in relation to medicine. The first thing is the Dr. Romana take anti-radiation pills to sustain the contaminated environment of Scarrow. Second thing, the Doctor experiences a déjà vu when landing on Scarrow. The world building in relation to planets. Scarrow is known as D5 Gamma Z Alpha to the Movulans. Second thing is Scarrow is still radioactive. The Daleks have abandoned it. The third thing is that Slave was a pilot in the third galaxy fleet of Contra. According to Romana, the planet is a tropical paradise. Fourth thing, the planet Magla is actually on 8,000-mile wide amoeba that is grown a crusty shell. Next thing is an unnamed human slave is from the planet Syrian. And also, Romana guesses the ship of the Movulans comes from the star system 4X Alpha 4. And also, Arcturus won the Galactic Olympic Games with Betelgeuse coming a close second. And then last thing in the plans is the economy of Argo is in terrible state due to irreversible inflation. Now, world building in relation to spaceships. Dalek and Movement fleets are locked in stalemate. Second thing, Thyssen was an engineer working for the Deep Space Fleet out of the planet Earth. And last thing, the Daleks have a prison ship orbiting around Scarrow. As will being about a species. Romana regenerates into something that looks familiar to a Crespellian or to a Dorian Maldivar or Dan Rand's species. About another thing about species, when they bump into the human slaves with Daleks, the Doctor and Romana wonder if the planet is ruled by zombies. World building in relation to technology. The Daleks are using high-impact facing drills to dig the planets. And also, the Daleks use a lie detector during the interrogatory of Romana. Davis is imprisoned into a cryogenic freezer. Now, we'll be about robotics. K9 suffers from a form of laryngitis. Now, we'll be in relation to Time Lords. According to Romana, Time Lords are trained to be able to stop their hearts at will. This allows her to find death. The second thing is Dr. mentions his cybernetics tutor at the academy. And the last thing in this is Romana tastes a mineral with her tongue to guess its composition. Then rule building erases two weapons. The Movulans meant to destroy Scarrow with a Nova device, able to burn its atmosphere. And the second thing is the Daleks, when sent to destroy the Movulan spacecraft, are charged with explosives for more than half a megaton. Next point in world building is in race to influences is that Graham Williams and Douglas Adams suggested that their nation draw upon a short story apparently written by Isaac Asimov about two armies, each reliant upon a battle computer which was logically unable to outwit its counterpart. So that's all about the world building. Okay, now go into the continuity slash context because again and again this story is not a story on its own. It refers and is linked to past stories, previous stories, and future stories after this story are linked and referencing to this story destination to the Daleks. So continuity. If there is continuity, yeah, you can decide if it's continuity. So perfect. Okay. The Doctor uses his head to obscure a Dalek's eyepiece, a tactic previously used by his second incarnation. You see that in the comic, the Trodos ambush. Next thing is the Doctor revisits Scarrow. We see that in the TV story, the Daleks, that is with the first Doctor. The evil of the Daleks. And the genesis of the Daleks, that's in the fourth Doctor story. Next thing, Davros was thought exterminated when the Doctor previously met him. You see it in TV story Genesis of the Daleks. Pros, Worf Daleks retcons almost everything in the story, such as revealing that it took place not on Scarrow but on the terraformed Antolin. The retcon was made through the Dalek Prime. It is possible that the Dalek Prime was lying, as his elite scheme seems very implausible. Another thing, the Doctor recognizes the form of Princess Astra, whose appearance Romana has decided to emulate in her new incarnation. We've seen that in the episode The Armageddon Factor. Next thing, there have been several attempts to explain Romana's regeneration sequence in the story. Three things about that. Point one, unknown to the Doctor, Romana suffers damage due to exposure to the key to time. Just as she is about to regenerate, a humanoid manifestation of Dardas, jealous of Romana, traps her in a force field. He proceeds to pretend to be Romana, changing it to different forms until finally becoming a double on Princess Astra. This manifestation is the one who appears in the serial, realizing the error of its ways after that adventure. It releases Romana, but not before making the female Time Lord assume the image of Astra. Pros, the lying old witch in a wardrobe. Second point, to explain Romana's regeneration sequence in the story is that Romana forced her own regeneration to prevent an ancient Gallifreyan evil called Pandora from gaining power over her. This explanation may or may not be consistent with the previous one. This audio lies. Choose your own canon. Last point to explain Romana's regeneration sequence in the story. That is, the creators of the Key to Time redisguised its final segment as Romana, which is why she chose Astra's form. It is possible that the previous explanation was arranged by the Key's makers to facilitate this one. We see it Audo, the Chaos Pool. So, next thing. During her first incarnation, Romana previously encountered the Daleks in the Proxima system. The Dalek Dalek contract and the final phase. After leaving the TARDIS and returning to Gallifrey, she was held prisoner by the Daleks for 2 decades before escaping with the help of the Sixth Doctor. We see that in the audio, the Apocalypse Elements. Later, still, the Daleks invaded the Gallifrey of an alternative timeline while Romana was serving as its supreme leader. We see in audio arbitration and extermination. Next thing. The Matrix contained information about Daleks and movements being engaged in 4X Alpha 4 in 4949. See audio Neverland, although the conflict was implied to occur approximately 1,000 years before the 43rd century. Pros, the mission to unknown. Next thing is the 12th Doctor Bill Potts and Nardole arrived in the middle of a battle during the Dalek Movement War. See that in the TV. The pilots. Also, after participating in an invasion of Contra, a Dalek vessel containing the Emperor's personal guard crash landed on the Great Three planet Strelin in the audio order of the Daleks. Next thing, the Movulans defeated the Daleks in a battle in Traxena's sector of space during the Dalek Movulan War. Audio 18 Hertz. And last thing, in the continuity context, the Doctor and Davros both reference Napoleon Bonaparte. They would both later meet him during the Doctor's sixth incarnation. See it in audio, The Curse of Davros. Yes, yes, sir. So that's it for this story with the Daleks. Hope you like it. Um, okay, we shall finish. We shall end with to say some have weer some commercials again and 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 again again and again and again. Sci-fi fantasy fans, also fans in general. Meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music, and sport. Random cause we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random cause we will broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Oh yeah. And also, because now we have no guest or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord, YouTube, and we will look what is possible, dude. Lady. Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor. So cheers, mate. Have a lot of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker, that's my name. Today was the story, Four Dog Story, Destiny of the Daleks. So, this was it for today. I like to hear from you. And yeah, see you next time around. And again, have a nice weekend. And that's it. Okay. Watch Doctor Who. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Doctor Who. Bye bye. Dat doei.